Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. This is your host Thomas Tyree from On the Hot Podcast. Today, I have some bonus content for you guys. The bonus content I will have for you guys today will be in the basketball world and the world of the NBA. And in today's bonus content segment video, I'll be sharing my thoughts on the Milwaukee Bucks firing former head coach Mike Budenholzer. So yesterday, the news broke out during yesterday afternoon, evening time, that the Milwaukee Bucks have fired former head coach Mike Budenholzer after his 5-year stint with the Milwaukee Bucks franchise. This is a crazy stat for you guys. If you guys think about it, the last 3 to 4 NBA champions, which were the Warriors are included, but they're not included in the list I'm about to say. But the Los Angeles Lakers, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Toronto Raptors all won the championship over the last 3 to 4 years. And all those coaches that helped those respective franchises win those championships over the last 3 to 4 years are no longer with their franchises. You look at Mike Budenholzer, obviously, who was just fired by the Milwaukee Bucks. Frank Vogel, who helped the Los Angeles Lakers win a championship back in the 2020 season during the bubble era. And look at 2019, the Toronto Raptors winning their first NBA championship led by Nick Nurse. All the respective NBA coaches are no longer with their franchises. Steve Kerr, you might want to sleep tight. Don't let this bed bug bite. If they're somehow, some way eliminated by the Los Angeles Lakers. All jokes aside, Steve Kerr ain't going nowhere. But this was truly a mistake by the Milwaukee Bucks. I understand that things obviously went to the worst this NBA playoffs. They were the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. They got kicked out and booted out of the first round by the 8th seeded Miami Heat team, and they were gentlemen swept in this series, losing this series 3-1. And Game 5 especially was definitely a blown game, a game they definitely should have took at home, won at home, and then took the series moving forward to Game 6 in South Beach in Miami. Obviously, that didn't happen, and the Milwaukee Bucks got sent home early. But there's no shame of losing to the Miami Heat. This is a team that they've seen 2 times in the last previous years in the playoffs. This is a Miami Heat team that just went to the NBA Finals. So for you to fire Mike Budenholzer after losing to the Miami Heat in the first round, even though they were an 8th seed, it shouldn't mean that this guy should been fired. This guy has been a part of the Milwaukee Bucks winning culture over the last 5 years. And he's brought them nothing but success with this franchise, something that this franchise has been seeking for a long, long time. And Mike Budenholzer did that by coaching them for the last 5 seasons. So with his time with the Milwaukee Bucks, he did help them win their first NBA championship, something that hasn't been done with this franchise in the last 50 years until the 2021 NBA season. He also has taken this Milwaukee Bucks franchise to 2 Eastern Conference Finals appearances over the last 5 years. This year, they won a total of 58 games. They had the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Not only were they the best team in the East, but they had the best regular season record in the NBA this season. And he's brought the Milwaukee Bucks to the playoffs, having a total of 5 winning NBA seasons with his time with the Milwaukee Bucks. So, to me, this is a head scratcher more than anything by firing Mike Budenholzer. We'll see what the future holds for him. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be out of a job for much long. In my opinion, he's actually a top 10 coach in the NBA, one of the best coaches in the NBA today. I don't believe that he will be out of a job for long, whether that's being a head coach or being under a learning tree next year as an assistant coach for a respective franchise. But with that being said, what is next for the Milwaukee Bucks? But this is my hot take on that question. I truly believe that the Milwaukee Bucks could potentially blow up this roster heading into the 2023 NBA offseason this summer during the NBA offseason. So here's why. Former owner of the Milwaukee Bucks, Mark Lazary, sold ownership to sold his stake of the ownership to Cleveland Browns owner Jimmy Haslam during the midway point of the NBA season. This was a few weeks ago, actually taking place at the end of March, early April, that he sold his stake of the ownership to Jimmy Haslam. Why would you sell your stake of the franchise when they are on one of the best runs that they have seen in the last 20 plus years with the Milwaukee Bucks? Why would you? Why would you trade? I mean, why would you sell your stake when everything's going right? Why would you sell your stake of the ownership when you could potentially win another championship very very soon with this respective franchise and this respective roster that the Milwaukee Bucks have? To me, it just doesn't make sense. I think that Mark Lazary might have seen things were going downhill with Milwaukee. Maybe he sees something that the rest of the NBA community doesn't see. But I'm not blind of this. You selling your stake of the franchise when things are right, being a winning team for the last 5 seasons, winning a championship just 2 NBA seasons ago, just as it sit right for me. This could be a sign of things to come for the Milwaukee Bucks. They could also potentially lose stars in the next few seasons. And starting off with Brook Lopez, who's set to be an NBA free agent this NBA summer. Chris Middleton has a player option on his contract. He could become a free agent this summer, but has 1 year left on his contract if he does not want to opt out of his contract with the player option. And then Drew Holiday is set to become a free agent during the 2024 summer of the NBA offseason. So some stars could be moved in Milwaukee. The future isn't set in stone for this Milwaukee Bucks roster right now. And without Brook Lopez or Chris Middleton, I understand Chris Middleton has not been available for the Milwaukee Bucks as much recently because of the injuries. And he's getting a little older. But without Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton, this Milwaukee Bucks team is going to take a step back. And they're definitely not going to be a top team in the East. They're definitely going to be scratching and clawing to keep up with the top teams in the Eastern Conference, like the Boston Celtics, the Miami Heat, the Philadelphia 76ers, the New York Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers. All those teams, it's going to be a hard time for the Milwaukee Bucks to catch up with them if they potentially lose Brook Lopez and Chris Middleton this NBA off season. And let's be honest, it's really truly hard to attract free agents to the city of Milwaukee, to the state of Wisconsin, because it's not an attractive place that you want to play basketball compared to the likes of a New York City, Brooklyn, New York, Miami, Florida, Los Angeles, a California team. It's not an ideal landing spot, and it reminds me of a similar situation with the Portland Trailblazers, something that is a city that Portland, Oregon, that a lot of people don't want to be associated with when it comes to talent playing there during free agency. They haven't lured a lot of talent there during free agency, and the Milwaukee Bucks truly haven't over the last few years either. So I do truly see if things go south, and especially if Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez aren't there during the start of next NBA season, I feel like Giannis is going to want out, and I'm not going to be surprised if Giannis, who is in the prime of his career, wants out of Milwaukee. Yes, he's one of the most loyalist players in the league. I put him in the most loyal player conversation with the likes of Damian Lillard and Bradley Beal in the NBA. Those two respective players love their respective franchises and want to leave there for anything. And same with Giannis, but if we see Chris Middleton gone, if we see Brook Lopez gone, and they don't attract any free agents during the NBA summer to insert in their starting five to play alongside Drew Holiday and Giannis, that's a big problem. And Giannis is in the prime of his career. He's a great two-way player in the NBA, two-time former MVP, former defensive player of the year. I truly believe that right now, as we speak, Giannis is the best player on planet Earth. And he's not going to waste his prime years in Milwaukee if they're not getting any help. And we're seeing the ownership gone. We're seeing Mike Budenholzer gone. Don't be surprised if Giannis wants out. The following players have, and keep it in mind, these are some great players, all-time greats, that started off with their franchise but never finished their careers with these respective or never stayed with the franchise their entire career. Likes of LeBron James, never finished his career, won't finish his career with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and did not stay there his entire NBA career. Michael Jordan left the Chicago Bulls twice, but did not finish his career with the Chicago Bulls. Went on to finish his career with the Washington Wizards. Kevin Durant, we thought Kevin Durant was going to stay loyal to Oklahoma City Thunder his whole entire career. Look what he did. I don't even have to say much about that. Shaq, Dwayne Wade, I could keep naming all-time greats and keep going on that did not finish their careers with the franchises they started. So if things go south, don't be surprised if Giannis wants more to add to his legacy, more championships, more MVPs, more Defensive Player of the Year awards. Giannis is going to win out, and I'm not going to be surprised, but that's my hot take on the Milwaukee Bucks' future. I would not be surprised if they blow this roster up this summer. But that is all the time I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. This is your host, Thomas Tyree, signing off, and I'll see you guys on next week's episode.